Okay, I'm on the algorithm or something where everybody's talking about their escrow accounts doubling and stuff like that. Like, you guys, when you're relocating to places like Texas, Idaho, Tennessee, wherever you're going, please, 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 please understand how property taxes work in that state. Okay, I was just listening to another video about a real estate agent that was really sad for this family that they were selling this new house that they just bought because they could no longer afford the house because they were misled. And this is another reason why it's so important to have a buyer's agent on your side when you're purchasing a home, especially from a builder, because you got to remember that agent that works for that builder is working for the builder. They don't give a crap about you. They'll be nice and put on a smile, but at the end of the day, they're paid by that builder, not you. Okay, so they are going to do what's best for that builder and get those homes sold and be nice and easy to work with and all the things as a buyer so that they don't have to pay the extra commission to the buyer's agent, because commission structures work a little bit differently with new construction homes, and typically they allocate a certain percentage that they'll pay towards a buyer's agent as part of the closing costs. That's something that your buyer's agent can walk you through as well. But don't make the mistake of thinking that they're on your side, because they are not. They are there to sell the house for that builder, not help you. Okay, because once it's sold, they're done. They've done their job. And what's happening in like this situation was they didn't explain to them that the property taxes were going to increase. So basically, like in California, how it works where we're at, when you have bare land, you pay your property taxes based on that assessed value of that bare land. And what happens is if you substantially improve that land, such as putting a house on it, that is going to increase the property taxes, because now they're going to reassess the property with that new house now located on that bare land. Okay, and all the utilities and all the things that go into this bare land, because it's now improved. Okay, and when it gets reassessed, it's going to substantially increase. Like usually, depending on the lot of land, let's just use like, for instance, in like Lake Comanche area, you could buy a plot of land for like, I don't know, $50,000, okay? And let's say you even can find some for like $20,000, but let's just say 50 to make it easy for numbers. But when you put a house on it, now that property is worth $500,000, not $50,000. Okay, so when you reassess, like in California, for instance, our taxes are 1% of that base year tax value, that assessed value that you get when you first purchase that property, or it's substantially improved, like you buy land and then you put a house on it. They reassess it when that house is completed. Okay, what was happening in Texas with this couple was this particular builder, they're not required to disclose like they are in California, because we have the natural hazard disclosure that talks all about property taxes, special taxes, all of that. And typically if you have a buyer's agent, they'll be walking you through this as well, like what I do for my clients. But in Texas, this builder did not explain that to the person. They're like, oh yeah, it's like $1,800 a month all in with all the stuff that they have to pay. Great. They signed the paperwork, and the next year, their property got reassessed because it substantially was improved from the previous tax roll. And they didn't disclose that. So now their whole payment for their mortgage went from $1,800 with escrow and all of that to like $3,400. They could no longer afford their home, so they had to sell it. Brand new house. Okay, because they didn't have a buyer's agent, they didn't understand property taxes, and they weren't properly explained to them how they work. And I highly suspect that they came from California or somewhere that, like California, where we don't do it the same way. Okay, because we only reassess the property at the time of change in ownership or a substantial improvement to the home. And usually that'll only be to the portion, like if you converted your garage into an extra bedroom, that would only reassess that portion of the property. It wouldn't reassess your entire house. Okay, but if you have bare land and then you're putting a house on it, obviously the whole house is going to be assessed, right? Or reassessed. So that is kind of how it works in California. And I've done so many videos and talked all about property taxes to death. I even have I have a 5-part series, which is more like a 7-part series, because I have a bonus article, and then I have a surprise article. So it's basically 7 different articles that talk about about everything you need to know about property taxes in California. Okay? So wherever you go, whatever state you're in, make sure you understand that they are different than how California does their taxes. Okay? So just be aware and be educated. Get a buyer's agent that can represent you in your best interest to make sure you're not putting yourself in a situation like this. Because had they had a buyer's agent, and a good agent, not just some, buyer's agent that's just out there putting their card out everywhere, and that you don't actually vet them and ask them questions and make sure that they know what they're talking about, okay? Ask them questions about property taxes. I can't tell you how many times agents that I know and I've worked with when I first started, I would ask all about property taxes and none of them really understood. So knowing myself, I just went out there and I got the information. Plus I already knew quite a bit as well, just working in the legal industry with estate planning and all of that. So I kind of had a leg up anyway, but it was astounding to me how little agents know about property taxes. So just be aware you find that buyer's agent that's going to educate you, that really understands the process and can help you and put your best interest at heart, and make sure to ask the questions to the builder, because you might not know to ask that, right? That's just one example of so many different things that the buyer's agent does to protect you and to make sure that you're making a sound investment when purchasing your home, okay? So that is my advice to you. Be educated, find that right buyer's agent, and make sure that they're an expert in the field. Okay? Have a great day, you guys. Bye.